Hello, my name is Elba Medina, and I will be discussing my case study with you. Problem, identification, and analysis. So, what do I know? At this point, I know that the principal is a well respected leader in the community, and the principal as well has a stellar reputation. The community is an affluent community. They value education, as it is reported that most of them would rank on the um, high SES, and the school has also been recognized as one of the most prestigious schools in the state. The teachers, or the teacher. The teacher, Miss Walker, is a highly qualified instructor. She values education, as not only does she have a master's degree, but she is pursuing perhaps a doctorate's degree in her field of interest. She loves a structured classroom, and she has high expectations for her students. The students, it appears that at this point they are experiencing a high amount of stress due to the rigor in the course. And as mentioned, this might be the first failure. As mentioned in the case study, um, this might be the first time that the student has had a low grade or a failing grade in his or her life. And another common factor within, I guess, all of the characters in this study is that it pertains that everyone has a value for education. So, what do I need to know? These are the things that I need to know. I need to know if I need to know the teacher's instructional methods. I need to know her grading system. Does she use weighted grades? Are her tests graded higher than her assignments, or are her assignments weighted at a higher stake than test? And another question that I would have for the teacher is the rigor based on relevant lessons? What does that mean? Is she assigning work just for work, or is her homework practice? As far as her lessons, are they relevant to the materials that the students need to learn? Parents, what I need to know is, will they encourage their students to become resilient? As it appears, this is one of the first times that perhaps the student has occurred a failure in their life, and it seems that the parents are pursuing or trying to find a way to fix this problem for their student, making it seem that perhaps the coursework is too hard, or that there's poor instruction in the classroom, and that's why their child does not have their desired grade. So what I'm getting to this is having the growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. So the growth mindset is stating that with hard work and effort, you can achieve basically anything that you want. But then the fixed mindset is that everyone's intellectual level comes at a certain capacity, and you can no longer do any better, or even if you study endlessly or put forth your effort, it doesn't matter what you do, you will still obtain the same grade. So that's what I mean with the growth mindset. So basically, stating that not selling yourself short and believing yourself in the capability of doing better. Um, as a student, we would like to know the desired outcome from taking Mrs. Walker's class. So, for example, um, what do they wish to obtain after they leave that classroom? Do they only want an easy grade, get an A or a B to boost their GPA? Or do they actually want to learn something in that class? Do they actually want to earn their grade? Do they actually want to work hard and study and really earned either that B or that C, or maybe perhaps that A? As a principal, what else do I need to know? I need to understand and address the policies against our staff members, which at this time, which are a criminal threat that has been done to Mrs. Walker by a student in our building. So problem identification, students and parents. So like I mentioned before, students appear to be in a fixed mindset environment, whereas they feel that nothing is wrong with them, and no matter what they do, they will still perhaps obtain a low grade. So now they're blaming the teacher as to poor instruction for their low grades. With the growth mindset model, we would suggest that any student is capable of earning that A or B that they desire if they put forth their effort and grow as a student. Another thing that I've noticed is that perhaps this is the student's first failure. The first failure is really hard not only for a student or for the parent. The student's self-identity might lower their self-esteem, thinking that this is too hard for them, that they cannot do it, and then look for reasons or excuses why strategies that they have used in the past are not working necessarily in this course for them to be successful. And then the other problem that I identified is that students in desperation have acted out, and one of them, particularly, perhaps has broken the law and has made a criminal threat against a teacher. So my plan of action would be as follows. I would make the report to the SRO, obviously because a student has made a criminal threat against a teacher. That will not be tolerated in my building. I also must identify the student who has created the page. I will get that information from our IT department. I will also like to instruct the staff in our growth mindset model and have that discussion overflow not only this course but all of our courses in our school. Another thing that I would like to do is myself as building principal go to Mrs. Walker's class and talk to the students about our growth mindset model. Counselors will also work with students to come up with strategies to achieve the desired grade. So if students at this point, the strategies that they have used in the past are not being successful, what we must do is implement new strategies in order for them to become successful and achieve their desired grade. And then I also would like to discuss the regular and relevance with Mrs. Walker. I need to know if her lesson and her instruction is based on relevance of the course subject in which she is teaching. So what is best for the student? I'm a firm believer that rigor and relevance is best for the students. When you have relevant education, you can have rigorous curriculum. As long as you have students engage with relevant framework in which they can apply to real world scenarios, everyone can be fascinated with the amount of rigor of coursework a student can handle. Along with the growth mindset, the fixed mindset students believe that they have reached a certain capacity and that no matter what they do, they can no longer be more successful than what they actually are. With a growth mindset, we believe that students can achieve their desired outcome through hard work and effort. Um, Another thing that is best for the student is personal responsibility and accepting failure. As soon as personal responsibility, I felt very disgusted by students threatening a teacher um, and I guess bullying her to modify lessons because they felt her courses were too rigorous for them and was causing them a high amount of stress. Well, this is not the first time they will ever suffer a high amount of stress. This might be one of the beginning points in their life where they might be stressed out, and that's an important life skill for everyone um, to learn. Accepting failure is another um, life skill which we should all learn and try to learn from our mistakes that we have done in the past and hopefully figure out strategies to implement in order to be more successful in the future. So, as far as my reflection, I really believe in the strength of resiliency in our students and not giving up just because maybe this is the first F that they have ever received. Currently, actually, at my school, um, we hear this a lot. A lot of our students who are in rigorous courses mid-semester because they have a C in an AP class, they want to drop the class because they don't want to mess with their GPA. And we always have a very good conversation with the student and the parent describing their desired outcome. Is their desired outcome to literally not learn anything in class and just go through the emotions and get an A? Or would they rather push themselves and use critical thinking skills in order to develop themselves as great students in the college setting? As far as collaboration, we must collaborate with all of our teachers um, and have high expectations regarding rigor and relevance. As far as collaboration, it's important to work as a team and because today it's Miss Walker. I mean, who would be tomorrow like another teacher? And we just can't have our students give up so easily just because they have suffered one failure. So, on my standards, how I've acted in an ethical manner, I decided that I did not act dismissive when a teacher reported to me the way she felt. I try to make the teacher feel safe. And another thing, I will not tolerate threats towards my teacher, like I mentioned. Today, it's one teacher. What is it that tomorrow kids decide to all of a sudden threat all of our teachers because they did not like something that maybe a teacher assigned? As far as fairness, provide an opportunity for students to learn, provide students with life lessons. Students must become resilient members of society. They just cannot give up on their first failure. And also, I will not modify classes to achieve an easy grade. That does not go well with my way of thinking and the integrity of um, of a leader. I've also planned to maintain rigor in the classroom, maintaining high expectations not only for our students, for teachers. Um, I would like to continue the perception of a prestigious school because obviously parents and communities are drawn to the school based on the value that we put in education. As long as that, we continue to value highly qualified instructors in their areas of expertise, and they will educate the students to the best that they can. And that might be, like we mentioned, what we've had this case study about is a very rigorous coursework. So, with it all said, I don't have anything else more to say other than I enjoyed this assignment and thank you. The end.